This is the Real Concrete Coating Talk Pod, a podcast created exclusively for concrete coating contractors, where we have real talks with industry pros about business fails, wins, and all that BS that everyone else don't care about. All in an effort to inspire you, the entrepreneur, to keep moving the needle forward to success so that you can live out the dreams you intended to create for your life. I'm your host, Rudy Hetrick, the founder of Floor Coating Marketers, the one and only digital agency that specializes exclusively in growing concrete businesses online. So stick around for this episode. It's not one you'll want to miss. Hello, and welcome to the Real Concrete Coating Talk Pod. I'm really excited to do this episode today. It's just going to be me today, but I got something I want to share. I had some things I want to think about, or that I've been thinking about, that I really want to share with you guys. A lot of this stuff that I share with you obviously is stuff that you might already know, right? But it's kind of nice to have a little bit of feedback from other perspectives in the industry that might be able to give you a gold nugget here or there, or something that maybe you didn't think about. And that's kind of the purpose of this podcast, is to provide as much value and information that I can to really help you guys out in the industry, whether it's having a guest come on board to really, give you some insight into something that maybe you didn't realize was that important in your business, or maybe they might come on board because it might be a business that could help you, right? Help you grow and take your business to the next level. So that's kind of what we do with this podcast. And if you really, really like what we're doing, give us a review. Let me know what you think of the podcast. Maybe share it to some of your cohorts, or if you know anybody else that's in the concrete coating business that, might benefit from this podcast, share it to them and let them take a listen and see if there's something that they can, get some value out of it. Maybe it can help them out a lot. So, but in this episode, I really want to talk about systems, right? Systems. It's so important. Every business needs to have systems. If you don't have systems, then you're probably the person that's working 18 hours every single day, barely getting enough sleep, super stressed out, very unhappy with your current situation in your life, and not even probably where you need to be. Like you probably don't even love what you do, right? Because at the end of the day, as a business owner or a CEO, or however you want to label yourself, you want to be able to delegate and automate your business, right? If you're doing everything yourself, and that's including being out in the field and doing the work, if you're out grinding concrete in a garage, that's probably not the best use of your time. You need to be building the foundation of your business, right? And I know, I get it. I own a business as well. I've owned service businesses in the past, and I can tell you it's really, really hard to let go. But you don't necessarily have to let go of everything at once, right? Build systems and procedures that you can use to really help you, right? Really, at the end of the day, let's talk about it. What is a business system? So I'm on this website right now called successwise.com. I just found it online. I have no affiliation with them, but I really liked kind of how they wrote it, how they kind of laid it all out. And so they say a business system is a series of interdependent tasks or documented procedures that outline exactly how to do something in an organization to achieve a business objective, right? Good business systems streamline workload, improve productivity, and get results, right? So a business process, or an SOP, right? Standard operating procedures, can be very, very simple. It can be something that you can hand off to your employee, and they can be implemented pretty much right away without even any large amounts of training. For example, you could have a checklist in your trailer that makes sure that, they're going to be putting this tool here, putting this tool there. Did you do a walk around the trailer to make sure that there's no flat tires? Did you do a walk around, make sure there's no damage from something, right? Did you make sure that there's enough inventory for the day or for the week? Or is there this or this that needs to be filled? Do you need more cups, right? Whatever it might be. And you have a checklist that they can check off every single day. You could simply laminate the checklist and then have a dry erase marker that's attached to it with a string. You can screw it up to the side of the wall, and that's something that they have to do, and date it and sign it, take a picture, send it off to you or whoever's the manager. And it's simple as that. A system like that keeps them organized, keeps them keeps them accountable and responsible as well. And tools don't go missing, right? Tools don't go missing. Oh, no, I got to go drive an hour across the city to go grab this one thing that we need. And then now production is held up, right? Systems prevent all of that from happening for the most part, not always, but having it is 99.9% way more important than not having one at all. And I know, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but a lot of times we don't create these systems because we're too busy doing the work, right? And then by the time we get home, we're exhausted, right? We're too tired to have to go back and figure out how to do it. So really, at the end of the day, the best way to do it is let your employees do it, right? Give them some kind of an incentive. Say, hey, listen, John, next time you're out and about, I'll tell you what, I need help making sure that this trailer is going to be organized. So the next time you're there, can you please just create a checklist for me? Here's some paper. When you're there, here's a clipboard. Make it super easy for them to do it. Okay. And just get them to write out, okay, what do they do this next? What do they do here? What do they do there? Right. And then get them to create a checklist for you. You don't have to do the checklist, right? Give them an incentive, buy them a lunch, whatever it might be. It's totally worth it. Right. And so stuff like that can be game changing. So the other thing is automation, right? Let's talk about that. So systems isn't always going to be necessarily a checklist, right? You can have software that can help you achieve goals as well. So if you don't have a CRM, so if you're like sending invoices, off of an Excel spreadsheet that you made or something like that, or a Word document that you made with your logo at the top from a template or something, and then you're emailing it to them, boy, I got to tell you, you are missing out on some serious revenue and time management opportunities, right? Because a CRM automates a lot of your work. You just have to spend the time. Again, you have to spend the time to get it all set up first. Having a CRM and getting it set up and it running for you, it's like having an additional employee in your business at a very, very cheap rate. It automates all of the emails, all the text messages. It sends out reminders for payment. It sends out invoices, sends out estimates, right? You can book your entire life on a calendar, right? All of this stuff happens behind the scenes. You don't have to be doing it manually. And then you're going to forget to call these people or do this or do that. Really, a CRM can save you 18 to 20 hours per week. Now, what can you do with 18 to 20 hours per week? Well, let's talk about that. Well, you can spend that extra time to create more systems. You can spend that extra time to spend time with your family. Maybe you can actually come home for dinner for once, right? Whatever it might be, on time, right? Not let because that's the thing. Like, if you got kids and things like that, they don't want to be hearing about your day and how grumpy you are and everything else. They want to spend time with you. And if you're working 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 60, 80 hours a week, right? They're not getting the quality from you, right? And I'm sure that you probably feel that a little bit, right? So there's a lot of ways that you can change that. You're in control of your destiny when it comes to this stuff. So systems are very, very, very important. So like for us here at Floor Coating Marketers, we use systems for everything. We even have what we call a Trello board. Trello, you can even sign up for it. It's free. And it's really, really cool. All it does is it's a very straightforward, streamlined, almost looks like a pipeline. If you've ever seen a pipeline in a software program, it's just basically cards that you move from one column to the next to go to the next stage, right? So that helps us stay organized. It helps us really see what's next and what we have to do next. And it's still at a very basic level. But if you upgrade, you can get automations hooked up to that. There's so many things that you can do with that. Within those cards, you can do checklists, you can do all sorts of different things, right? So, honestly, at the end of the day, if you're not building systems, then you're not building a business. That's pretty much all I can say, because think of it this way. Every department, okay, is a brick, right? Or let's say one wall on a foundation, right? But the mortar is what holds everything together. The mortar is what holds the bricks together. Those are your systems, right? Keeping everything together as one, right? And so, and the end result, that's to achieve a common goal, right? So if you don't know what a system is, go onto Google and check it out. Listen to what they're saying, because these things are super, super important, right? You could even systematize systems, right? You can interlink other systems within each other, right? Every single time you do something that can be repeatable, that's a system. You should be documenting that all the time. And I know some of you guys know this stuff, but an easy way to do this, another way to do this is if you're, let's say, on the computer and you're doing something that an administrative assistant can do, is go to Loom and basically record yourself doing it. And you just say, this is where you go. You do this, you press this button, you click here, you go over here and you do this. And then it's on video, which you can store and save, put it in a training folder somewhere on Google Drive or however you have it set up on your computer. And then you could hire somebody literally from Upwork and transcribe that, right? There's also software tools for that. You can use something called Otter.ai, which is a really cool piece of software, which I use all the time. You can upload the audio or the video into Otter.ai and it will transcribe it for you. You could have someone else do that for you. You don't have to be doing that stuff. I don't do it for myself. I will have someone else do it for me, right? So for example, I'm doing this podcast right now. So I'm going to take this audio and I'm going to give it to my assistant. I'm going to say, podcast is done. Here's the title. Here's the summary of it. And then she does the rest. Why? Because I trained her how to do it and we created a system for it. She's going to go back to the Trello board and she's going to follow the checklist on how to do it, right? We created templates of some of the content that we put out on Instagram that you're probably following, right? Or Facebook or whatever it is. So all of this stuff has been pre-designed. So it doesn't take an absorbent amount of time, not even a lot of time for my assistant, right? So she gets to do it and then she can move on to everything else. So it's systematized not only for me, but for her, right? And so that's the benefit of having systems. Systems frees up time, not only for yourself as a business owner, but it also frees up a lot of time for your production team, who is the one that, is working. So if you have a step-by-step process on how to do a garage floor from bottom to top, then it's repeatable. And especially when they're new coming in, you should be doing videos while you're training them, right? Have someone hold the camera while you're showing them how to do things step by step. Then you can document that. You can put it in your folder as well, right? So when the next person comes in, you don't have to do that training again. You could be out somewhere else, maybe doing some estimates, right? They can be sitting in your office watching all these training videos and taking notes for the exam that's going to come up next Friday, right? Things like that. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys, I know a lot of you already know this. You're already at that level where this podcast probably doesn't even matter, but maybe that gives you also the reaffirmation that these are important for every single business that exists. Every single business, if they're not systematized, it's not scalable. You will never be able to grow without systems. So if you're stuck and you can't take it to the next level, the first thing I would do is check out, what are you spending your time on first? Can it be delegated? Can it be automated? If so, then you're going to be able to move that next level a lot faster. So typically, we are our own bottleneck when it comes to running a business. So the first thing to do if your business is struggling is to look inward and find out what's going on and why you're spending all this extra time on things that you should not be doing. There's a little voice inside your head that we always try to refuse, thinking, oh no, that's whatever, and we ignore it. But sometimes that voice is saying, I probably shouldn't be spending time on this right now. If that's happening to you, you need to build a system and you need to hire someone else to do it for you. So hope you have a great weekend. I know this is the long weekend. So if you're working this weekend, that's really, really too bad. I really feel sorry for you, but all the best to you. And if you get the chance to have the weekend off, awesome. We all need that kind of rest. And we will see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Trying to figure out how digital marketing works, trying to figure out how to get a website to rank, how to make it convert, trying to figure out how Facebook works, how Instagram works, how do you get engagement, how do you get followers, how do you get likes, how do you get reviews consistently on a single month. All of this can be extremely daunting for a business owner, especially if you're just trying to grow your business. Your job, your responsibility as a CEO is to automate and delegate. Your job is to make sure that everyone is put in the right spots. Having to spend all this time trying to figure out digital marketing tactics and skills, honestly, it's a complete waste of your time, resources, and money. You need to hire a company that is dedicated to you and to the industry, like Floor Coating Marketers. Stop trying to weigh your options. Just get on board, hire floor coating marketers for your agency. If you own a concrete coating business, this is your best shot at your success. If you want to 3 times or even up to 10 times your revenue, this is the best way to do it.